But what you guys do at the one in that 1 hour at the 4 different communities every week?
Yes, yeah, we have children from ages 4 to 12. They come together to a time of singing and kind of action songs, singing together. And when we have a Bible time as another station, so we have around 4 stations in that 1 hour. Then we have a game time. We have a healthy snack. And on seasons we have a craft too. So say Thanksgiving we had a craft, for Christmas and Easter for Mother's Day and Father's Day. So something they get to keep, and they are Bible based, and I've seen they develop in good friendships, healthy friendships that last sometimes even lifelong, I believe. Wow. And they tend to play and enjoy a time together where they don't have to worry about kids that say bad words or fight. So this is a very healthy environment, I would say, and it's free. So they get an hour every week. And some of them just love it. They come, and the parents tell me they just wait for King's Club Day and just to come and enjoy the time. And I think it's very fruitful. I wish my oldest was around his teens when we started it, I guess. I wish, but he volunteered and benefited. It's lovely. I believe it's neat, and it runs in Regina, Milestone, Wilcox, and Weyburn. So I have children from Lang and Wrightston come to Milestone, kids from Rollo come to Wilcox, and I think it reaches to quite a few towns. And we do summer camps in all these towns too. So it's a 3-day full day camps, and
so
it's
full
lovely.
Summer.
Full summer. We had kind of the whole month of August. We had over almost 170 children that went through the camp.
Wow!
And I think it's quite a meaningful time, and we introduce them to people who had a good life, a productive life, who influence communities and challenges them to decide to be someone who will be a blessing to others. So we do bring in other good lives too before them.
Right.
So I think
role models,
and discuss them too. Like even now we are taking them through George Miller's life, who lived almost 200 years ago in London, how he housed the orphanages and fed them, and had so there are lives that they can connect to and say, oh, they lived, and my life can also be productive and meaningful, beyond just the self.
Right.
So I think I see that in them when they talk about their friends, and so there's a change. And I see in school especially in the Milestone School, I've seen some of the kids being who have gone through the children's club, being given responsibilities by teachers and picked for for events, programs. So I think they've noticed something in them with which they're being good citizens too.
Yeah.
So I think these clubs have I think it has a long-lasting effect, something even I am not aware of. I believe it's because I think the word of God is planted in their heart, so it would bear fruit. And I believe it could be all through their life, just starting at this age,
Well, just knowing someone cares. Just knowing that there's someone who's taken the time out of, they're not just sitting at home, or they're not trying to make $1 million. Like, just the fact that you're in a position of serving the children.
Good, and I think they see it too, that they also can make sacrifices.
Right.
And as adults, and I'm sure they watch me, how on the other volunteers,
Absolutely.
what they do. And I use youth, young people in the program. So that's a big, I've seen it to influence, to see there are teenagers who behave well, who care, and who are willing to sacrifice their time and talents, and just for their benefit. And I think they would do the same way when they grow up. So there's a lot of life examples which we place before them. And some of the young people, even if they don't volunteer at the weekly club, they are quite dedicated at the summer camps where you need more energy. It's hot outside, and to run around and play with these kids. And I've seen even these clubs are touching that age group too, just by giving them an opportunity to volunteer. See,
Absolutely.
giving your your time for somebody else's benefit, so that giving they learn at that age. So there is many facets to this, and so many parents donate cookies, and so even there is a giving from them, and just checking what can I do for this. And so I think there are many hands, not just mine. I mean, not our family. There are many that say, I'll give them a ride, I'll bring them to the club. And even today, one lady said, I'll drop them back. And I think, there is, so I think it's quite, it's a chain reaction, right? You give and the others want to give, and then you give it to someone else. And so I think you're developing a culture of giving, which is needed, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, I agree. And I think that was a huge influence for Arton, was that your boys were there, and there were younger people there.
Sure, yeah.
I was a camp counselor at Trossachs Bible Camp.
Good.
So I know, no worries.